Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And I promise you this, above all else, I'm going to be more obnoxious, more overbearing, and I'm going to make you all learn to love it because you'll have no choice. It's time!
Welcome to the Probably Wrong Podcast. Tony, Mike, Dave. We're back again, boys. I already messed up. Oh, it's going to be a terrible show.
You didn't even have the headphones, and you messed up perfect to the gong. So when
I
the
like
gong
it,
hit, I'm like,
that was pretty good.
I had to look
Maybe
twice.
that's a
I'm
good
like,
sign.
does
Maybe
he have
that's
the
a good
headphones? That's it. Right. Football's over.
I know. I kind of wish we had a better game.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like at the half, it's like, all right, kind of season's over.
I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't dialed in. It just wasn't.
Yeah, it was a blowout. You don't want to see a blowout in the last game of the season.
There were people that wanted to see that.
There were a lot of people.
There was a lot of people that enjoyed that.
But you get one last game. Wouldn't it be better to see like a game for four quarters, and even if the Eagles win, maybe they squeak out a victory at the end instead of this? I mean,
like their last Super Bowl. Other than that controversial call at the end, that was a phenomenal Super Bowl. Well, I remember when they made that call, I go, they just ruined the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like,
but those are the Super Bowls that you remember. Remember the Tennessee Titans versus the Rams and outstretched the ball trying to get to the goal line, like the Patriots Super Bowls, many of them.
Almost every Patriots won.
Dude, like, you want a good game because we're not going to see another game for months now. We ended on that. That's kind of like crap.
It was crap. And, you know, and I know we're going to get into it here, but the officials completely ruined that game to me because every call was just over TikTok. Like, they slowed the flow. Yeah. What I mean, whether it was KC driving, destroyed, like, it's just like you don't want to watch a Super Bowl.
They called ticky-tack fouls early on, or ticky-tack penalties early on, and it almost set the tone. But
right. But it's just, it ruins it. It's like the biggest stage. Like, just let them play at this point. And that's usually what the Super Bowl is known for, is there's not many penalties. They let the guys play.
Yeah.
And it feels like this time they listen to the media and they're like, oh, we got to overcorrect and call everything.
Well, I think they made that first one. That was kind of a big call. And then you got to go and make another call. And then, I mean, we see it in the NBA all the time, too, like the makeup calls. And it's like, dude, just let these guys play. Let them play. It's a physical, aggressive game. They can touch each other a little bit. It's not a big deal.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wish they had. And I feel like it wasn't just the Super Bowl. I think the Philly-Washington game the week before was just bad. That's a vibration. It wasn't a good game. It was like Washington luckily made it there, but didn't really belong. They were no match for Philly.
Hey, but they beat the crap out of the Lions.
They did.
You know, so we can't say they didn't belong there.
To me, you know, if we go back and look at it, the Lions beat the crap out of themselves.
Yeah, but you go...
I know the Commanders won it, and they took advantage, but the Lions...
But you have a young quarterback on the road against the favorite.
Yeah.
And they showed up.
Yep.
You know, like, that doesn't happen all that often.
No.
But you could tell they were totally... mismatched with Philly. I mean, that was so bad. And then this game, you thought the Chiefs, even their defense, you thought was going to at least go punch for punch with Philly's defense, and they really didn't. They went into that game with the idea, we're just going to stop Saquon.
They were hyper-focused on Barkley.
And that's all they did. And they were so proud of the fact that even towards the end of the game, when the game was it was 34-0, they were still shutting down Saquon and his Hurts dropping bombs on him.
They didn't. I was like, do you not remember the first Super Bowl when he threw for 304 yards on you?
Yeah, I mean,
couple touchdowns, ran for like.
Yeah, he accounted for 4 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, he. You obviously had the wrong game plan that first one. You were lucky enough to come out with a field goal win. And then this one, you went in with like a similar game plan, except now you had Saquon Barkley as your running back instead. I don't remember who was even the running back. I don't know if it was Swift or But
I think it was Swift a few years back.
yeah, so it wasn't
Taylor?
yeah.
Yep.
So it wasn't that big of a deal to stop him. But this was Saquon. I mean, he had probably one of the better years a running back has ever had in the league.
No, it wasn't him. Who's the guy that's in Carolina now? Oh, it's going to drive me crazy.
Sanders?
Yes.
Miles Sanders?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's
okay.
him.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a stud running back that they had to focus on. This game, they instead of focusing on Jalen Hurts and maybe trying to take him off of his game, they just wanted to shut down Barkley.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts had been hurt. I think having the 2 weeks off helped him.
Yeah.
He hasn't looked great up until he looked great Sunday.
No, like-
but he didn't look great in the previous weeks.
Like, honestly, the Rams almost beat them because they had the game plan that the Chiefs should have had. You know what? Let Saquon go. And shut down the receivers and go after Hurts.
Go after Hurts.
And if they're going to beat us, Saquon's going to have to run for 200-something yards and 3 touchdowns. And you know what? The Rams were in that game to the very last drive. They had a chance to win it, you know? So
And what did I say that, you guys got upset about before about Mahomes running? If I'm coaching against them, hit him.
we didn't get upset about that.
Well, you were like, I don't know,
No.
Saints, Bounty Gate, stuff like that.
I don't want dirty hits on
Yeah.
any quarterback.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not saying dirty, but treat him like a running back when he's out.
Yeah,
Well,
but no dirty hits.
But
yeah.
if you're playing against, you're in the Super Bowl, you're playing against Philly, Jalen Hurts wants to run, hit him.
Hit him. Yeah.
Because he is a guy that's had issues with, he had the concussion earlier in the year. He had tweaked the knee or ankle in one of the playoff games. So he was kind of, you could have taken a shot at him, and they let him. He ran wild. I mean, they tried to rush him, and he just took off up the field, and
I think
no
he
one would
finished
hit
with
him.
70 yards and a TD. Well, the TD was the tush push, but I think he finished with 70 yards, I want to say.
I'll tell you what, though, and I noticed it a few weeks. I might have been a few weeks too early when they were playing the Texans. Casey against the Texans looked slow. They looked very slow and old.
Yeah.
And against Philly, and I remember I was over here. I was like, the dynasty's over. They're too old. And then they came out and beat the Bills, and I looked like an idiot. But then this week they looked very old, offensively and defense, like kind of slow and sluggish.
They didn't really get clicking until it was the second half, they're a team that needed to come out right away. And it's, I like, really, Reed, you didn't come out with anything new. Like you didn't change anything. You said, you know what, we're just gonna let Mahomes. Basically, it was like, all right, Mahomes, just run around. What? The first 2 drives, they didn't even run the ball.
Yeah. I mean,
So
Hunt had nothing. Pacheco can't get anything going. They didn't try to get him going,
No.
even throwing the ball to him out of the backfield. Guys were, dropping balls.
Kelsey, 2 huge drops, and that was so deflating because they were 2
Kelsey
drives.
looks old. He looks very old.
But he didn't look old in this playoff run. He looked old in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it was almost like Philly was like, we're just going to beat the bag out of Kelsey.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. Put him in positions that he was uncomfortable, and it showed.
Yeah. They hit
He
him.
was frustrated on the line. They were hitting him off the line. They were bull rushing him.
Well,
they were.
I think they're just a tougher team, and they were able to do that.
Oh, that defense looks so good.
Mean, right?
Yeah.
Mean and
So
athletic
fast.
and strong and fast. Like,
I mean, they had 4 rushes, and they were getting in on Mahomes
Every
constantly,
single play.
and they couldn't figure
and
it
they were
out.
pushing around 5 offensive linemen, 4 guys. It was great to watch.
Yeah. It was. I feel like that Philly team watched the Tampa Bay film from that Super Bowl and kind of had a similar game plan.
Well, I think the defense was built similar to that defense, right?
And-
because you have to have the guys to do it.
Yeah, and they always say, when you're building a team, you're always trying to build for, whoever just beat you or whatever. You want to build your team to be able to compete with that team. And I think Philly actually built their team to compete with the Chiefs. And I think Cincinnati's another team I feel like plays well when they play the Chiefs. They've built their team to play against them. They just couldn't get in the playoffs this year. And it's almost like Buffalo they continue to roll out the same, and that's why I think their coach needs to go. They just keep rolling out the same shit every year. They have a good regular season. They beat the Chiefs in the regular season and then poop their pants in the playoffs. So, hey,
There was no, like we said before, adjustment. And what bothers me is you have this weapon, Xavier Worthy, and you didn't start going to him. They did when it was too late, though.
Yeah, it was too
late. He
had,
160-something yards and 2 touchdowns? And I'm screaming at the TV going, what are you doing? Why are you forcing the ball to Hollywood Brown and Travis, who's getting just manhandled, and you got Worthy all over the field? And I get it. Mahomes he couldn't really get the time to get it to him, but it was like all of a sudden, like, you're going to wait to the fourth quarter when you're down 34-0 to just be like, I'm going to highlight Worthy, who's blowing away the defense.
To their credit, though, I don't think their receivers are much better than the Patriot receivers.
They weren't.
Kelsey's banged up. He's not much better than Hunter. There's not a lot there offensively.
Hopkins is a shell of himself. Yeah. Brown is still... He rushed back from his injury. I mean, next year I think Brown will be better.
And Worthy is a dynamic athlete, but still a project.
And everyone's like, they're done this night. I go, they have one of the best wide receivers in the league who is injured this year with Rice. He'll be back next year. You're going to have Worthy, who's now is second year. And then if you keep, Hollywood Brown is still a good receiver. Again, he just came back too early from his injury, trying to get back on the field.
This team has an opportunity to regroup and bring in new pieces.
You're going to have a whole offseason. You're going to come back with those 3 wide receivers? Tell me as a Patriot you wouldn't want those 3 wide receivers.
Well, the speed is great.
We don't have any.
And they have speed, not just speed. They have hands, and Rice is physical.
But they just couldn't make any adjustments.
No, that's what you got. Reed supposed to be the next coach in line to take over Belichick, and this is where you needed Reed to come up with a game plan. Like, you could see the prior ones, you're like, I got Mahomes. I'm just going to rely on Mahomes. He could bail you out, and this is the Super Bowl that he needed bailing out, and Reed failed again.
Yeah, no in-game adjustments.
No,
at all.
No, and that's 2. That's 2 Super Bowls with no in-game adjustments. That with the Chiefs, you want to go back to his Eagles days. There were a lot of games where he didn't make adjustments in the playoffs, and his great Eagles teams of the early 2000s, 4 straight NFC Championship games.
Yeah, all different quarterbacks.
They finally get to the Super Bowl, and then
you ran into the Patriots.
Yeah, they didn't lose by much.
McNabb also threw up in the huddle. That doesn't help.
Terrell Owens was playing on a broken ankle.
Yeah,
what a stud though! That last game. Yeah, he's playing on a broken ankle, and Donovan McNabb can't get up off the ground. He's puking in the huddle. I'm like, dude, tough up. What the hell's wrong with you?
But overall, just anticlimactic.
Yeah, terrible.
Commercials. I'm a big commercial guy, and this year I don't know. They had some, but overall, just not great.
Yeah.
The best commercial that could have been on TV, they didn't even want to air it. They didn't even air it. The Tostitos pizza rolls.
Didn't see it. Well, it obviously wasn't on TV. They did have a Pickle Ball commercial, so I was happy about that.
I got to show you that commercial. It was hilarious. I don't know if you know who Tim Robinson is.
I do not.
He's a pretty dry, funny comedian. If you do like the GIFs on your phone or things like that, he's got a ton of them.
Okay.
So it was pretty good. And at the end of it, the alien gets killed. But it's just they wouldn't air it, but it was hilarious. It would have been crushed. So, but other than that, not good. Halftime show.
I didn't watch it. People are talking about it still. What I do is I go to my parents' house. I watch the first half, get in my car quickly at the half, shoot up to Bridgewater, and watch the remainder of the second half. So I didn't watch it, but I think the NFL did a good job with picking it because people are still talking about it.
Here's my take on it. All right,
I didn't see it.
I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan.
Didn't know who he was 2 weeks ago.
It was an unbelievable, phenomenal Kendrick Lamar show. It was an awful halftime Super Bowl act.
Okay.
Because the problem with it is he's not a crossover artist. If you're a rap fan, you watched it and you were like, oh, this is great. But if you're like Dave and Tony, you're like, wow.
What are we?
What is this?
Yeah.
You didn't know who Kendrick Lamar was.
No, I didn't.
And neither did Dave.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple of his songs, but
what I even said this when they announced it, and I was like, wow, it should have been Lil Wayne because he's a crossover artist.
I don't know much
what
about
I mean
these
by
things either.
You know what I mean by
they're
crossover
not going to get
artist?
me and you, Dave. Yeah.
It's you have a catalog of number one hits, not just on your platform like a hip hop artist, but it's also on pop.
Or
it's
something that everybody recognizes.
Right.
Like when they brought out Dre and Snoop. Awesome.
Right, because they're a crossover, multiple number ones.
50 Cent, right?
Like Kendrick Lamar has had 3 of his own number one hits. They've only lasted a week. And his biggest one was 2 weeks, and it was a diss track. Like, you can't play that in the Super Bowl.
Don't know what a diss track is.
It was the thing against Drake. When they were beefing back and forth. But I'm like, this is, again,
I'm really not hip to all this stuff. I don't really listen to music to begin with.
But that's what
Drake
I'm saying.
is who?
Yeah.
But
It's
that's
like the
what I'm
Devil
saying.
Dogs.
Like, if you're a fan of rap, you get it.
Yeah.
And you're like, but if not, which is a large portion of, this country, they're like,
But then
what is this?
you had the people that saw the deeper.
But that's what I mean. That's a small selective, and it had to be spelled out. I'm like,
With
what
Samuel
are we doing
L.
this?
Jackson, the Black Sam Adams.
Yeah.
That.
And I get what he was trying to do, and again, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a phenomenal Kendrick Lamar concert, because that's what he does. But as a Super
didn't mind
Bowl
the show.
act,
I didn't mind it. I mean, whatever. That's what they picked. I watched it. I was like, this ain't bad.
yeah, and you're right. But he is a single. That's it. It's just rap, and I like it, but it's not everything. Like 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, crossover to everybody. Every other, like the Justin Timberlake thing. He's a crossover. It's everywhere. What's the other girl's name? Lady Gaga. Crossover. Multiple. Like, those are the Super Bowl acts. Not everybody's going to like it. You're not going to please everybody. But you need someone to grab the majority to put on a huge show.
Michael Jackson will please
Michael
everybody.
Jackson, yep.
Whitney Houston.
Yep.
Did she ever do it? Or she did the national anthem?
National anthem.
Okay.
The Prince one. Great.
Prince.
And I'm not even a big Prince
Oh,
fan.
I love Prince. What's wrong with you?
No, I'm not a huge Prince fan. I'm more of a Kendrick fan, but I love that show. I like his hits. I'm a fan of it, and he did a great show.
Of course he did. He's the man.
So,
But I think the NFL did a good job picking him because people are still talking about it.
Oh, and they're talking about like the Serena Williams and the stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't really follow much of that.
All right, so ready? We'll do this.
All right.
Here. This is worthy of the...
Now time for the dirt with the probably wrong crew.
I get to use the dirt intro.
All right.
So, what got me with the Serena Williams? First off, she was brought out there just as basically a diss to Drake.
Because she dated Drake.
Because she dated Drake.
I heard. All right.
Right? So to me, I'm like, one, that's incredibly petty. Like, you're not a 20-year-old girl.
And you're freaking rich. Who gives a crap?
Right? You're married.
Oh, she's married.
So if I'm the husband, I'm like, really? You're going to do this?
Your ex, yeah.
Like, there's got to be something still there. Like, you got to have some thoughts and love still there that you're still...
That you care to diss somebody like
right?
that. Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
it meant so much to her to be out there.
Right. And it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
First off, and then the one that gets me the most, all right, for having one that's also lost a sibling. So her back in 2003, her older
I
sister
did
was
hear
killed.
about this. This is messed up. Yes.
Right? And she was killed by the Crips.
Yes.
She was talking to her boyfriend at the time, out in front of a house, and the Crips were kind of owned that house, and they thought they were the opposition, and they opened fire on the car and killed her. And she's on the halftime show in front of what turned out to be 156 million watchers, Crip dancing.
Yes, so doing the Crip walk, right?
Doing the Crip walk. Like, what do we do? What is that
I heard
thing
that.
here?
I heard
Have
that, and
some
I'm like...
self-awareness. Like,
Well, just
what are you doing?
common sense,
Yeah.
right? If the Crips kill your sister, you don't do the Crip walk.
Right. You do something at first. Everything. Like, she came out of this really looking the worst. Looking worse than Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce in my book. Because I'm like, what are you doing?
Mahomes a little bit of a pass.
No, I know, but
yeah.
He's getting a lot of heat, and really, it should be. I mean, I was like, what is she doing? Is she? No, she can't. Oh, she is. And I go, I wonder, and I'm watching it going, I wonder how long it's going to take people to put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, because I started seeing reels about it. I'm like, I didn't even know she had a sister that was killed. I had no idea.
It was her stepsister, but it
Yeah,
was
but
like,
still,
but I still,
like-
I don't know if you, no, obviously you don't, but back then when they first hit the scene, it was a huge thing. It was a huge thing that she was killed. They did all kinds of stuff. It was a very...
Yeah, never heard of it.
No.
Yeah.
So, but immediately I'm like, wait a minute, because I remember it, because I'm very into
The
dirt, and like, how do I say it? Like gang movies, and how it like I like or shows, like I love The Wire, like I love like Boys in the Hood, all that stuff. Like I enjoy it, and I remember when it broke down and happened, and I was reading about it, I go, man, this is like something you see in the movies.
Yeah, that's one thing about you. You do care about that stuff. You do research it. I could give two craps. But that's, I saw that. I'm like, eesh, that's not a good look.
She would get home, and I'm like, her sister and husband would be like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's not a good look.
So, yeah. So there's my, the dirt behind all that for everybody.
But you know what? If she said, Tony, I want to be a pickleball partner, I'd still take a run.
Yeah, well, you got to get back out there first.
The quads hurt. The quads hurt.
So I want to let everyone know. Obviously, I always say, watch the YouTube, follow the YouTube, check out the YouTube show. For anyone who did see it, there was unreleased footage of Tony's pickleball accident. I got camera footage.
Oh, yeah?
And it's on the reel.
All right.
It's on the video.
YouTube?
On the YouTube video.
Is it its own little reel?
No, watch the video.
I got to watch the whole video?
Watch the video when we talk about it, about your injury.
All right.
I was able to find the footage and put it up.
All right, fantastic.
And I also got, 8-Ball Dave and his Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So... Yep.
All right.
It cost me a lot of money to get that footage.
Yep. Well worth it.
Yep, it was well worth it.
Yes.
It's actually one of our highest rated YouTube shows right now.
Well, it's probably because people like to see me get hurt.
And this guy right here.
Yeah, they want to see him in a sweater. Should get that guy a sweater vest, Coach Dave with a sweater vest. That's what he needs.
With
Where's the jacket? The jacket's not even here anymore. That's been a flop.
It has been.
Disaster. Just like the Bruins season.
It's a cool intro. That's about it.
Yeah, we can keep the intro.
All right, so NFL season.
Yeah. It's over. I mean, Philly now the team to beat? Well, definitely the team to beat in the NFC. They're going to be a wagon for a while, barring injury. If they keep this team together, it looks like they may lose A.J. Brown. I don't know.
That's a big deal.
They owe him a lot of money. So I know a lot of people are trying to put 2 and 2 together with the Patriots.
You win the Super Bowl, you got to run that back.
Yeah.
You got to pay him his money.
Well, I mean, he's under contract, so if they were to trade him, they'd have to eat a portion of the $30+ million for next year. And that's why people are like, the Patriots. I go, the Patriots not going to trade for someone who's going to be $32 million next year.
Well, but they tried to grab what's the 49ers wide receiver? Ayuk for $30 million. So why wouldn't you grab A.J. Brown for $32?
I would.
No, you're right.
Much rather have Brown
for $32, and then that's Vrabel's boy, right? Vrabel never wanted him traded.
But the thing with Ayuk is you were going to pay him $32, right? And you were going to pay him $32 a year. We'll say for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to pay him $32 a year and then lose him. I just don't see as how Kraft is very, we'll say, frugal with his money.
Right.
If you can't sign him, that's.
But there is a connection
a
between Vrabel and A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown played for him.
Right.
Vrabel didn't want to trade him. That was the GM.
Right.
So maybe they have a good relationship. I don't know. But that's...
I just see the Patriots right now adding a $32 million receiver to next year's team doesn't put that team in the Super Bowl.
Not even close.
If they were like one piece away,
yeah.
Pay that money, get him for a year. But if you said,
you know what, we can trade for A.J. Brown and then lock him up for 4 years after.
But I also don't think it kills Philly to move on from A.J. Brown if that's what they're going to do.
Philly doesn't care. They pay and keep it moving. They that's their big thing. They'll pay the money to bring in the talent. So,
but if they're thinking about moving on from him because of the money, it's a loss, but it's not going to kill that team.
I think it's a huge loss because
it is a huge loss, but they still have a pretty solid offense. Their tight end is a very good tight end. They still got Devonta Smith, who's still developing. The kid's a winner.
Hear me out. It works because you can't take away one player, right? If you get rid of A.J. Brown, now you can double team. Like you don't have that fear.
No, but if they're gonna move on from him, they have to add. Obviously, they have to add. I don't know why
moving on from a $32 million receiver is a conversation. If you replace him with a T. Higgins, you're paying T. Higgins $32 million.
Yes, but you're paying him multiple years, $32 million. Like it's an investment.
So they don't think they're going to be able to re-sign him after this year?
Either that, that's what I'm saying. Like they're not one piece away. They're not like, let's make this trade, pay him the $32 million. If we don't sign him the next year, that's his last year. We can get rid of him. I just don't see the way Kraft is.
Right. But I don't know. Like if he likes it here, re-sign him. What would you get? Would you give what's it going to take? A fourth-round pick, third-round pick?
And don't forget, he was pissed that he wasn't drafted here. He's an actual Patriots fan. He grew up a Patriot fan. So
at some point, you're going to have to roll the dice on a number one receiver. They're hard to get.
You get 3 receivers who actually want to play here right now.
And you don't want any of them.
You got
Debo?
A.J. Brown, Debo, and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
3 guys that are willing to come play here, that have connections to this team. Because Debo also thought he was going to be a Patriot.
Right. And his skill set is perfect for Josh McDaniels in the way he likes to use people. Because he can do a number of things on offense.
Jay Fields, good comment here. Unlike the Patriots, Philly knows how to draft. They'll be able to get a receiver in the draft.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Fair enough.
So, and then you just have the Jalen Hurts. I mean, where do you put him in the category now? His 3rd year, 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts is a top 10-ish quarterback, around the 10.
I'm a Jalen Hurts fan.
I am too.
I've been on this guy's bandwagon. I remember when he came out and everyone was like, "Oh, Trevor Lawrence." I go, even when he was in college, I go, "You guys are all crazy about Trevor Lawrence." Like, you get Jalen Hurts. Like, look at
right.
You know?
I think you have your 4, right? You got Burrows, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Yep.
And then the conversation, the Matthew Staffords and Jalen Hurts is going to be in that conversation. Jaden Daniels is going to be in that conversation, believe it or not.
I'll believe it when he has 2 years of success.
Right, but there's like that 5 to 10 range where it's going to be a little bit of preference, right?
Muddy.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think Jalen Hurts is in that 5 to 10 range.
Right.
But he didn't have a great year this year.
No. Neither did Mahomes.
Neither did Mahomes. But Mahomes has enough of a track record.
Yeah.
So
the last thing I want to touch on with the Super Bowl is with everybody. You can't go anywhere in social media without saying it, and people going, the Mahomes-Brady debate is dead.
Well, not dead.
Well, right, but here's what I'm
dead.
To me, right? I think to all of us, the Mahomes-Brady debate was never really who's the greatest, because we're all in the same camp that 19 years, Brady is by far here. Right? At the end, you tally up the 19 years, he's here.
Yeah, it's more than 19 years, but
I'm just...
It's
20, you're right.
He has longevity with him, right?
And
he played till he was 45.
He played till he's 45. Like, someone's got to get there to be in that category of the greatest football player of all time. I think the debate was, to me anyways, how I interpret it, is if Mahomes continues on this trajectory that he's been on, he could be very well in that conversation.
It's 100% it's a conversation.
Because if you take at 30, right, and you take the names off it, right, so you don't know, and you just see column A.
Stats are probably better.
5 Super Bowls, multiple MVPs.
5 Super Bowls in 7 years.
Multiple MVPs, multiple Super Bowl MVPs. Yep. And again, you take Brady stats, which are great, but if you looked at them without the names, you're going to be like, "Oh, this guy by far."
Yeah.
And then you see the name, and every New England fan is going to be like, "Nope, never mind."
They weren't great though. His first couple of years.
Yeah, they were.
Brady's numbers were not that.
No,
it was also a different game back then.
It was.
Yeah, they opened it up passing wise.
What I was going to say is, you take Mahomes 7 years, and obviously you got to knock off a couple. So his first 5 years, Brady was still in the league for those 5 years, and you put Brady's numbers to Mahomes' numbers, 5 years to 5 years, passing yards, touchdowns,
they're
all
probably
that
going to
stuff.
be similar?
Very similar, I think. I didn't look it up, but, I mean, Brady's last couple of years in the league, he was still throwing for almost 5,000, if not 5,000 yards, and, over 30 touchdowns.
He had a couple really, really stinky years at the end of his Patriots.
No, but his last couple of years with Tampa, I mean, he lit it up, and he was, in his 40s doing this.
And right, Melissa, you can't, and I feel the same way about this, 100%. You can't have a true debate until Mahomes is retired.
100%.
Because
if Mahomes plays 10 years, there's no debate. If he goes on to play 20, he wins 5 Super Bowls, and then you can kind of compare.
And again, it's just a projection.
Yeah,
But a lot of people, it's just basically in New England, get very butthurt about this. And I'm like, listen, guys, it's just talk. It's just, hey, look at the careers up until 30. Wow, Mahomes. Woo! And Brady's the greatest of all time. And Mahomes has better stats. Imagine if this guy continued it till he was 45.
I don't think he can because of the way he plays and the injuries he
But
takes.
I'm just saying that's what the talk is.
Right.
Like, to say right now Mahomes is the greatest? No. That is no. Absolutely not.
It's funny, I was talking to my brother.
You can't be the greatest of all time until you've retired anyways.
Yeah, I was talking to my older brother, and we were like, ooh, how one game changes everything. If he won that game, then it's 4 Super Bowls in 7 years. Yeah. Brady never had a 4 Super Bowl in 7-year run.
But it'd still be, if he retired at 32 and that was the end, and you looked at the stats, Brady's the greatest. And Jay Fields chimes in here with this argument drives me absolutely insane. I feel like Tony Maserati the other day. This drives me insane. People go, oh, he's 0-3 against Brady. First off, stop. So Eli Manning is better than Brady. Eli Manning's better than Brady.
2-0.
3-0.
3-0.
He beat him in the regular season, too. I don't know if it's actually 3-0, but he's got 3 wins on him.
But Patriots beat Eli Manning in the regular season, too, as well, because that
but
same season.
He's also beat him in the 2 biggest games.
Right. Super Bowl 2-0, 0-2 or whatever.
and you're right, Fields. The metric of work over 3 decades has absolutely been it. And that's what it is. Yeah. That's what puts him up there.
It's longevity.
If Mahomes was to continue that, you would be insane to not be like, wow, like this is a real debate here. But again, you got 15 more years of Mahomes before you get there.
I don't think he's going to, like, I'm watching him run now. He looks a lot slower now than he did 2 or 3 years ago, doesn't he?
He was beat up. He didn't look good most of this year. And then this game, and for anyone who thinks that he's not going to work hard this offseason to come back next year and be better than he's been, you're crazy. Because after what just happened to him, he's not the type of guy that's just going to say, well,
right, I'm not questioning, like, his heart, but I am going to question, this guy's taking hits, and is he as quick as he wanted? He was never that quick to begin with, because he ran like a 4.8-something 40, so that's not super fast.
He was smart about his
very
runs.
Elusive and smart.
Yeah.
But if you're a step slower because you're 30 and you're all banged up, he had the Achilles issue, he's had knee issues. Have we seen our best Patrick Mahomes days?
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
After what you just saw, if some of these teams, especially in his own division, because Denver, they got a decent defense. The Chargers seem to play very well against the Chiefs. If they take what Philly did and kind of use that as they build their defense coming up for this season, he could be in for a long run.
Yeah, and I think Kansas City has to build that offensive line, at least the tackle position.
Huge. Big time.
Because
you got Tooney playing tackle, and he did play serviceable. He played better than anyone
but he also
here.
caused that second pick because he got slammed into it.
But that's not his position.
I know. But that's another reason, not that we should be talking about Drake May, but that's another thing that impresses me about Drake May is we had no offensive line, and he was very serviceable.
But again, Patrick Mahomes never really had the best offensive line, and early in his career,
it was better than this.
You know?
It was
because don't forget that Super Bowl that we lost to the Bucks. I shouldn't say the Super Bowl that the Chiefs lost to the Bucks. That offensive line was much like the Patriots right now. Yeah,
if you remember.
If you go back, it was awful. They had injuries after injuries after injuries. Mahomes was sacked a million times all season.
Yeah,
they were saying one of the worst offensive lines in history, and they can't believe they got there.
Yeah.
So, but it looked just like this one where he couldn't
he's had
stand
some
up.
bad ones.
Yeah.
And I think it's the focus on where they're spending their money.
Yeah,
because they went defense big time. A lot of their money is invested in that defense. That's why that defense had such a great year. Chris Jones makes huge money. They had to get rid of Snead because they couldn't afford to pay him. I mean, if he had
that hurt him in the Super Bowl too.
If he had taken any type of a cut to stay there, you got 2 of the best corners in the league on the field. But Snead's gone, so you got McDuffie out there, and I mean, they're going to have to make some decisions on do we get offensive line?
Oh, you need to. You got to protect your number one asset.
Yeah,
but you could say that about so many teams in the NFL right now.
It's just hard to find offensive linemen, right?
It's tough to get good ones, and then and then to keep him healthy through a 17-game season.
And then you got to pay him a ton. The tackles, at least, they make a lot of money.
So, all in all, Super Bowl 59?
Oh,
Nah.
2 thumbs down, right?
Yeah, it was a bad
Terrible game.
Yep. Awful.
Yeah, sucks.
Yep.
So now we got to wait until what, like September for another game.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah, we get free agency next month.
Yeah,
There'll
the
be some good
draft.
talk,
You got a few things.
Be all excited for that first day of free agency when all these big names are going off the board.
Yeah, we're not getting anyone again.
Yeah.
We'll look for the value guys on day 3.
So moving on, did you watch WWE the other night?
I'm having a hard time getting into it. Not a ton. I watched a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Watched a little bit.
I'm
I'm having a hard time getting into it.
It's again, you're jumping into it completely cold.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, I was all the reels piqued my interest.
Yeah.
So maybe if you started watching some of the reels,
Yeah, maybe I'll follow the WWE after I follow the Probably Wrong podcast.
That's what sucked me back into it. And now I'm full.
Yeah, I can see
in.
the smile on your face.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that you have like that much fire about it.
Yep, it's really good. It's
Yeah.
really good. So don't forget, we're gonna have a little a combination show, you and I, coming up next
Pretty soon, right?
next week. Yeah,
I better fresh it up on my wrestling knowledge.
I'll give you more details to that.
All right, I'll be fine.
Sorry, Dave. No slight.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I would just be sitting there
That's what I mean.
staring at the shoe collection.
It'd almost be like the Celtics talk.
Yeah.
So there'll be more topic on that. There'll be more talk about that. I'll put something out. So coming up, just a little one-off combination of the North-South Wrestling podcast and us. So
All right, let's go.
have a little fun with that in the upcoming week.
I got 7 days to catch up.
Yep. What I do want to have a little talk about, that it's going to soon be our main slate, is the NBA.
All right, Celtics are looking better.
Yeah. I mean, we lost to the Mavs at home.
And the Mavs, like, they do this. Like, games you shouldn't lose, because they didn't play Anthony Davis, right?
Right.
They have these letdowns, because they don't really care.
Klay Thompson, this is the thing that gets me. You picked up on it. So you have Klay Thompson, one who went off and destroyed us. 2, before the game, stomping on Lucky, hitting 3.
Yeah.
And saying, what do you say, F the Boston fans?
F Boston or
F
something
Boston.
like that. Yeah.
This was the same guy in the finals. Was it the finals?
Yeah, it was.
Go
And
ahead.
he was like, these fans are so rude, saying F you, F Golden State. What about the children? What about the children? And then
That's what Klay sounded like.
And then here comes this guy saying F Boston and no longer cares about the children.
No, that's it. That's it. F the children.
F the children. F the children of Boston.
Tom, and
What a hypocrite.
I
If
used
you
to
stand
like
behind what
Thompson.
you say. I just hate hypocrites. I just hate them. I can't stand them.
Oh, it showed me crazy. And did you see him though when he stepped on the Lucky and made the shot? Kyrie was like, "Ooh, don't show anyone this. Don't show."
Yeah.
And to me, that was a little humility in Kyrie.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
don't
like,
mind Kyrie. I think Kyrie was going through some shit in life.
oh, he definitely was. There's a lot of stuff he was going through.
Yeah, because he was going through some bad times.
I mean, he
and-
was up my list of one of the most hated athletes.
Yeah, but he's kind of turned it around a little bit.
Yeah.
He's kind of simmered down a bit. I know his grandfather died, and some woman must have cheated on him or something, because he was really, like, struggling.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but
He always said the wrong things.
it just seems like he's a lot happier
Well,
now.
a lot of his stuff is like he had the views going through COVID, which now, he was, we can kind of validate Kyrie.
He was right. He was right. You know?
But his views weren't meant to be out there. And that's what pissed him off too, is he had a conversation with the owner of the Nets and like kind of explain this. I found this out afterwards, digging. He had a conversation with the owner of the Nets explaining why he didn't want to do this, what his beliefs were, what can we do to work through this. And then the owner of the Nets went and immediately leaked it all to the media.
Oh, it's awesome.
So then it put Kyrie. He's the kind of guy that when
he's on his
when
defensive,
he's on his defense, he's a douche of all douches.
He's a nasty human. Yeah, he can say a lot of mean things.
Yeah. So that's where it is with that. But it was funny to me in that video when he did that, and Kyrie was like, "Oh, don't air that."
When Kyrie stepped on the leprechaun.
That's
they
why-
lost 11 in a row. He lost 11 in a row, right?
That's why he said that.
Oh, okay,
He's like,
okay.
I think he said, "Don't show this until after the game if we win."
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember he stomped on Lucky's face and went on to lose 11 straight games against the Celtics, or something like that. 12 straight games.
Yeah, he was like 1-11.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was pretty good. But so we lose to them at home.
Yep.
Right, and then the rebound of all rebounds, because we go into New York
and they wanted it.
And New York wanted us bad because we embarrassed them here in our home court for Banner Night. And we just embarrassed him.
Oh, yeah.
And really, Tatum, wow.
He's turning into a man right in front of our eyes.
He did, because even in the Heat game.
He's just taking it on. We've been waiting for this.
Yep.
Like, play with some fire, play with some emotion, be the alpha on the court. He's finally doing it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because even last year, he wasn't the alpha on the court.
No.
They were just much better.
If he keeps it up.
The team was just much better than everyone else. But this year, he's taken over games at times.
But that's the thing. He's had the talent. He's been the talent on this team that should be doing this.
Right.
Night in and night out, year in and year out.
I think it's just a young man maturing.
He should be winning MVP, year after year for this team, and they should be winning championships, not just one. But he doesn't bring it.
We'll see.
I don't often like to use this as a crutch, even though it's going to seem right now I'm using it as a crutch. We've been lucky with Tatum. He hasn't had any injuries. And this year he's been dealing with his knee and calf and playing through it, and it's causing him some issues, and I think he's finally healed up. Now, with that all being said, we got the Spurs up next. De'Aaron Fox loves to hammer the Celtics.
I love De'Aaron Fox.
We got Wemby and we got Paul. These guys are gonna bring it.
Should be a good game.
This is a game, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the game that I can see Tatum go melt back down into the shell.
But I'm hoping he sees Wemby and he's going to be like, you know what? I'm going to teach this young guy a lesson.
I'm hoping it's more Fox. Because Fox we all like De'Aaron Fox, but he's got that chip when he plays the Celtics.
Yes.
Because he felt that he was better than Brown. We feel that he's.
Yeah, I do too. But do we feel like Jason Tatum's going to get up to play De'Aaron Fox? Or is he going to see the future of the league in Wemby and be like, I'm going to light this guy
I think it's a good combination of the both.
Yeah, maybe. Because I think when Tatum wants to play, I think he wanted that game against the Knicks. I think he wanted the game against the Cavaliers. I think against Dallas, he didn't really care.
And he wanted the game against the Heat.
Oh, yeah. There's always bad blood with the Heat. So
but the Heat without Jimmy Butler, it's not the same.
No, but there's bad blood there.
I know, but it's
you're not beating.
It takes a little bit from that one, but I think something that would be huge for him or just for fans in general would be a nice dunk on Wemby.
Yeah,
stuffing it right in his face.
How about the dunk with the Knicks the other night? The first points of the game. Immediately, I was like, he's letting that Schmenza hang tonight.
Yeah, I love it.
Good for him.
So, and we talk about this team can't have lapses, but they might be the type of team that can turn it on in the playoffs. Because they turned it on against the Knicks.
That's what every green team is hanging their hat on.
Right? Because you watched them against Cleveland, they controlled that game. You watch them against the Knicks, they control that game, and you're like, maybe they can turn it on. Very few teams in NBA history have been able to turn that light switch on whenever the playoffs hit.
Now, have you noticed something else with the Celtics of late? Have you watched much of their games lately?
A little bit. Drew Holiday out?
Nope, not just that. There's a glaring difference in how the Celtics have played over the last few games.
Oh, taking it to the hole a little bit more.
Taking it to the hole.
Yeah. Taking it to the hole. I think that starts with Tatum.
Yeah.
Right? Tatum, you lead by example.
Yes, but it also it starts with Missoula, and then it goes to Tatum.
Right.
And then they follow.
Yeah, because I think the team follows Tatum.
Yeah. Huge. And they're kind of, when they're doing that, even in that loss to the Mavs, I was pissed at them, but they weren't just running back to the 3-point line. They were at one point trying to get down low. It's just nothing was falling in that game. Yeah. And then they just gave up.
So it's good to see them take it to the basket, and they're taking it to the basket with fire, which I like to see. Because back in the day when Tatum would take it to the hole, he'd almost be looking for contact, looking to hit a layup, but he's throwing it down. So that's what we've wanted. We've been watching them just chuck up half court shots for the last few months. So it's better basketball, in my opinion.
Keep it going.
Better basketball. Luka and the Lakers look pretty damn good.
I watched that.
Look pretty damn good, and it's bringing the best out of Reeves. Talk about, and you got 3 really good white guys on that team with Reeves, Luka, and it's not Kincaid, but they're rookie. When he comes back, when he finally pulls his britches up, because he's a little butthurt that he got traded to Charlotte.
Yeah.
That guy can play too. And you got 3 guys now to go along with LeBron James.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like this was a huge deal for the Lakers, and I didn't say it because I don't really know much about basketball, but I felt like this move was actually going to make the Lakers one of the top teams in the West. But like I said, I don't know. I get all these people that are like, it's not really that great of a move.
It's a great move. What are they talking about?
No.
It's probably the worst trade in NBA history for the Mavericks. This is terrible. In watching that game, and you saw so many like hockey assists from Luka, and then LeBron. It would go from Luka to LeBron. LeBron would hit a wide open guy. It's like having 2 stud wide receivers in football. The third guy just gets open whenever he wants. Yeah. And this is going to be great for the Lakers, not only in the future, but I think it's going to allow LeBron to play a little bit off the ball, and he can save some energy. I think this is a great move for that team. And Anthony Davis is hurt again.
Yeah. The Mavs mess.
Yeah.
That's what I got there on the board.
Yeah,
Mavs mess.
That is a mess.
You get they're kicking fans out.
Kicking fans out, all right.
This is because anything they say detrimental to the team.
Detrimental to
the team.
How about you traded your franchise player at the age of 25?
They're kicking him out. And did you hear the story behind this? What the conspiracy theory is?
Is it about the gambling and how they can't gamble in
It's about
Texas?
So the new owner wanted to put a casino. They said no. So he's like, all right, well, we're going to move the team, but we can't move the team because they're so successful. Like, they're such a fan favorite. So how do you do it to make the fans hate your team?
Yeah.
You take your
Get
star
rid of your best player.
and you get rid of them.
And trade it for an
now
31-year-old center.
Now the fans are revolting against it, and now they're like, well, if you guys don't want us here,
A lot of fans.
we'll go to Vegas.
Wait a minute. Major League?
Yes, thank you.
A lot of fans asked for refunds on their season tickets, and they gave them the refund.
And the owner, she's just like, this is
She's
exactly
the
what I want.
5th richest woman in the United States.
Yeah.
I don't know her name, but I heard she was.
Is she looking to move to Florida?
She's looking
I'm
to
hoping
move.
she's looking to move to Bridgewater. I'll move her in.
Isn't that where the Major League owner was trying to go? Florida with that
I don't remember.
I think they want to go to Vegas.
But I was wondering where that tie-in was.
Yeah. The woman that owned the Cleveland Indians was putting the worst team out there possible so she could move to Miami, I believe.
Yeah. Enjoy some fun in the sun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
That's an interesting take.
Yeah.
It might be real.
I think it is because it's picked up steam, and there's a lot of like when you do that board and you draw the arrows and everything together, and you're like, oh wow, there's a lot of smoke, there's fire. Last thing, Butler and the Warriors. Really? Now you're gonna play
Who, Butler?
Jimmy Butler?
Oh, they gave him 2 years and $120 million.
And he looked so good the other night. I'm like, oh god. Thank goodness we only got to play one of these teams once.
He's just been saving it.
Yeah.
That's another one that to Miami.
That fit right in with Curry and everybody, and I'm like, man.
I thought he originally didn't want to be traded there. I thought there was something that said he didn't want to go to Golden State, and then
I don't know. I don't know.
$20 million will change that.
I don't know what to believe with Butler.
Yeah, I know. He's little loopy. What's he been on? Like 5 or 6 teams now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be something wrong with him.
This is his 5th team, I think. You got Minnesota, Philly,
Chicago,
Minnesota, Philly,
Miami. And now,
yeah. So 5.
But he also is tough, likes to play tough in a league of a lot of pansies. So maybe the issue isn't truly him. Maybe it's a lot because I know he didn't get along with Karl Anthony Towns, but he's a little soft.
Yeah.
And he didn't get along with some people in Philly, so
he wanted to stay in Philly.
He wanted to stay in Philly.
Yeah, he was mad. The whole thing with that is they got rid of him to basically sign Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris, yeah.
So
yeah. So hey, that's a dangerous team come playoff time because you got Jimmy Butler in the playoffs with Steph Curry.
Yeah.
You know, they can take over games, both of them.
Right. He's already won, Steph Curry. So, he can do it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
and Butler he's on the contract for 2 years and $120 million now, so he's going to play. He's not afraid to get hurt. And
this is great drama, great NBA. This is going to give us a lot to talk about as we go through. Because this
should be an interesting run.
Yeah.
You end up with maybe a Lakers, Golden State Western Conference Finals. That's a pretty good final.
Yeah, even Lakers, OKC, Golden State versus the Nuggets. There's a lot of good teams. And to see San Antonio maybe get in there, too, with De'Aaron Fox.
And then we still have the 76ers just falling.
Collapse.
Did you see Embiid the other night?
No,
The last
Dave probably
play.
did.
The last.
Oh,
play
yeah,
of the
I
game?
did see that. He looked like Jaylen Brown dribbling left-handed.
I'm hoping you saw it because you clearly watched it.
And I think I liked it.
You did. Dave,
Yes.
do you have anything for the coaches going in tonight?
No, this is nothing really to talk about.
No.
I mean, if you want to talk the
We'll talk about something, because I got to go to the bathroom.
do that.
Yeah.
Capitals and Ovechkin.
Here, let me give you your proper respect here.
All right, let's do it. We won't talk Bruins.
Now the
we
coach's
don't really
corner
need to.
with David DeShulo.
The Washington Capitals
Yeah.
are a wagon in the East.
16 goals away.
16 goals away. He continues to put the goals in, and this team just continues to annihilate.
Dave, I still remember when we first met. What is that? 11 years? 12 years ago now?
It's been 12 probably.
And I said to you, now Dave is a very vocal Bruins fan, very, very big hockey fan. And I said, I love Ovechkin. And you just kind of snarled. And I go, Ovechkin is going to catch Gretzky. And you said, no way. No way. You don't watch hockey. And I'm like, well, okay. And then what's happening? And I think every
him in
year,
goals.
every
Catch
goal
him in
since
goals,
that,
yeah.
I had made a point to be like, he's getting closer. He's
Yeah,
getting
and
closer. And you have really backed off that
I
take.
didn't like Ovechkin for a long time just because of the beatings that the Bruins took from Washington for years. They could not beat that team. As I've gotten older, I learned to appreciate. I mean, the guy is he 40?
Yeah.
And
I'm saying yeah,
still-
like I knew right off the top of my head.
He's built like a freight train.
He plays
But he can
both sides of the
score.
puck.
Yeah, he's still hitting people at 40 years old.
He's 39. He turns 40 in September.
Okay, it's still impressive. A lot of these guys aren't making it past early 30s in their NHL careers, and this guy, the way he plays, you would think he wouldn't have made it past 30 because he plays hard every night, still hitting people. It's fun to watch, and the Capitals right now, easily the best team in the East. I know the Panthers are still, talked about as one of the favorites, but I mean,
Stay with your Capitals
the
take.
Capitals are in a. I mean,
Stay focused, Dave.
they're a wagon, and
They draft well. They have
they've
veterans.
drafted very well.
They have a goalie that can get hot in the playoffs. They have a team that
They fight for each other.
Yep.
You don't take a run at a Capital without getting a beating. The goaltending, I couldn't tell you the kid's name. He's having a great year.
It's the Capitals minute.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, all right. Switching it up.
It started out the Alex Ovechkin minute.
Okay, all right, fair
Yeah,
enough.
Ovechkin
Bruins suck
is-
so bad that we're just picking a new team.
Well, they're done
Well-
for right now. There's no hockey. There's
oh,
just
they're doing the Olympic thing or whatever.
Yeah.
the Four Nations, but I mean Ovechkin's 16 goals from Gretzky, so
Oh wow.
it's a huge thing. He could do it this year, which everyone thought was not possible because of his injury. But I mean, that guy, he breaks his leg and he's back like 6 weeks later playing hockey again.
Sounds like me playing pickleball.
He's on.
Six weeks.
I'll probably need a good 6 months. It's gonna take me a while to pull the quad.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to get the invite to get on the pickleball court.
It's tough. Did
you
you see the video I posted on my Facebook?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
So a very good friend of mine, you know him as well, Joe Bastic,
Oh yeah. He did one of my tattoos.
Was telling-
I'd like to get a few more, Joe.
was telling me that there is because he's interested in the pickleball,
I can teach you guys
but there's a place in Hanover near the Hanover Mall
pickles.
that you can rent out. Did we talk about this already?
No, but I'm getting messages from all my pickleball people, and there's
Tony
The pickleball
Sip to it.
they have courts
The
at
PVC.
Yes, they have courts at East Bridgewater with lights.
Yeah.
so we can go there.
But the net's not always up, unless it is now.
I think it is.
Okay.
And then they also have courts at the senior center in Bridgewater. They got 6 courts.
We're gonna mess up that season.
Yeah, we are. And I think it'd be good for me to take you guys so we can kind of go over the rules and not really play like games early on. That way you guys can learn the rules, and then we can play a few games.
So Joe's become an avid listener.
I know, he likes all my stuff, or he likes something, because I see his name pop up. Joe Bastic Tattoos at Broad Street in Bridgewater.
So maybe we
need some more work done, by the way, Joe. You know, maybe I'll give him a lesson. You know, maybe I'll get a tattoo. You know,
yeah, that's a good payout.
Yeah. What do they call that? A barter, right? I'll give you get a lesson from a guy that's played for 3 weeks. Did I spit on you? I apologize if I did. All fired up over here. I really like pickleball. Maybe I'll get a pickleball tattoo.
And I got to tell you,
can we work on that, Joe?
Yeah, you just get the paddles on your arm.
Yeah. There you go.
But you need to if you're going to be out there really, promoting the game, you got to get your camera work down. You got to get it's
tough over there.
Yeah.
You know what? They have a walking track up top. I think next time I'm going to go from up above because Kerry was complaining that she couldn't see the ball. On the video, it's tough.
It was very I was going to comment in, but I'm like, we'll talk on the show.
Yeah. Hey, there's not much you can do. You know, I can maybe go with the overhead view.
Why don't you take the camera? We can get in the tripod.
All right.
And we'll get it
maybe
all
I'll bring
set
Dave.
up.
Yeah, I'll bring Dave.
I was going to say, have a cameraman there.
Because Dave's really good with the technology.
Yeah. It's right up his alley.
Is this thing facing the right way?
Yeah. Dave, why are you recording yourself? It's weird. Yeah.
You go watch it back, and it's just
Dave's
him
face.
Just looking at the face.
Yeah.
Go back and
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I'd like to get you guys on the court and kind of go over the rules.
Hey, summer's coming too, so we can get this together.
I'm hoping this heals. My goal is to play about 5 days a week during the summer. So,
wow.
And so I know I'm going to have to teach a lot of my friends said they would play and they haven't played, so I'm going to have to go over the rules, which I'm 100% fine with because I'd rather coach people up a few times. So now I have like a partner I can play with.
This could be the new hustle.
Oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. We'll go from town to town just destroying old women.
I'm just saying you as a coach.
Oh yeah. Maybe I'll bring the jacket like weekly, unlike this guy over here.
You have the whistle hanging.
Yeah.
The stopwatch and the
the goggles. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I love it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting out there.
I think you will really enjoy it. It brings out that fire.
I mean, he saw the fire. We did a ping pong thing for Christmas Eve.
Same thing.
I know. I didn't like to lose.
The fire you have at that ping pong table is exactly the same as pickleball.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, it's the only difference is you got to be careful with pickleball because you're moving so much side. There's a potential of getting hurt. With ping pong,
as again, if you go back and watch last week's video, you will see his video. You know what? I'm actually going to re-air it. I will put that injury on this one as well.
Catastrophic injury. It's been a rough week.
So Mike and I need the bionic knee braces.
Yes, you're going to need it all. Yeah,
like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Gonna go to work the next day. Like, what happened to you?
Pickleball. Yeah. I was at this place called Pickles.
Coach Tony really had us out there running sprints.
Yeah.
He pickled us
5 minutes of pickleball, and I can't walk.
Yeah.
Ethan here says there were Pickles protesters in Hanover on 58th the other day.
Pickles protesters?
Oh, yeah.
Protest Pickles?
Some think they were drunk Karens coming from Papagino's.
Yes. I believe that.
But, yeah. All right. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yep. I have a number of people, I would say at least a dozen people that want me to teach them how to play.
Are we going to have a sign-up sheet?
No. I'm going to go with you guys, me, you, Dave, and Joe. And we're going to go over it and maybe play for about an hour and then go over the rules so you guys feel comfortable.
When we do that, I got to get a cameraman.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
And it'd probably be better. That way I could explain it and put it right on Facebook. That way people can watch and learn.
All I'm thinking is, what was the guy from Dodgeball? Who?
I forget the guy's name.
The coach, the guy that comes in, the 5 rules of Dodgeball.
That's me, right? That's me.
That's all
I just want my friends to get better so I can be like, hey, you want to go play some pickleball?
You want us to get better so you don't have to play with a bunch of losers.
Yes, I don't want to play with 75-year-old women my whole life. You know?
Yes, Ethan, fans can watch.
Saturday nights.
And Todd wants to do it too. So we got people jumping in here.
Yeah.
And we had talked about, we did talk about this in the show way back when, that if we can get this pickleball thing going, we're going to have a little probably wrong event.
Like a pickleball event?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Maybe this year we do a pickleball get-together.
Yeah.
And then by next year, we're all stars. We'll do a pickleball tournament.
PBT.
PBT, I love it. You know, and then we can all put money in. Money can go to charity. Oh, I'm loving this. Winning team gets tattooed.
The PWP, the
Joe Bastic. You get the probably wrong posse tattoo on your left arm.
Though you can't use PWP tattoo because it doesn't look. It looks a little
PWP.
Yeah, remember when we were doing logos and you were like, "Oh, you did the big PWP logo."
What did it look like?
It looked like white power.
Yeah,
And
we don't
I'm
want to do that.
I'm like,
Yeah,
we can't do that logo.
Maybe we'll do pickleball paddles. Keep it safe. We'll do pickleball paddles. I remember that. Yeah, we were.
So way back when we were designing a little logo, thank God your brother stepped up and helped us out.
Yep.
But the first logo that he gave us, he sent it to me, and I'm like, is this like some weird? Like I don't want to get into this. This is not my thing.
Portuguese white power. Like, no, let's change this.
Oh, my
You're
God.
looking at it, I go that I can't put that logo on us.
Yeah,
People are going to get very confused.
Yeah. It's not a good look for us.
No.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, very much excited.
Yeah.
So, well, that was a great way to end the show.
Oh, I'm all fired up now.
It is.
Yeah. Now what do I do now with all this energy? Nothing. Go shopping at Walmart.
Well, just think, in another month, if you have this energy, they'll be light again.
All right. Well, that'll be good.
I can't wait. Can't wait. One more month and we turn the clocks back or ahead.
I'm looking for some warmth.
Oh, yeah. This sucks, man. It's supposed to be 45 tomorrow, but it's supposed to rain. But yeah, this is terrible. Yeah, we need some warm weather. We need some light.
This has been, I gotta say, this has been the worst winter we've had in a while.
Yeah.
We've been pretty lucky, you know? And now I'm looking at the forecast, not to talk weather to end the show here, but they're looking at snow this Sunday maybe again.
Yeah, Saturday into Sunday again. Yeah. Really, it impacts my drinking nights.
Couple more weeks.
Yeah.
No.
Gotta get to March.
You can't talk about the drinking.
I'm drink free for another week.
Dry Dave.
Dry Dave.
Yeah.
Dry humor.
Yeah,
Dry
I gotta
Dave.
say, my wife the other day, she's like, "You guys really pick on Dave." And I go, "What do you mean?" She's like, "With all the nicknames." And I'm like, "That's nothing. You should hear the nicknames we have for people at work."
Yeah.
I don't think women get it though, because like when guys hang out with guys, they make fun of each other. That's what we do.
That's right.
Like women talk trash about women that aren't with them.
Right.
When they hang out, they're like, "Oh, let's talk about Susie. She's not here. Let's bash her to death." But when guys hang out, they make fun of each other.
We like to talk trash to the person because it's funnier that way.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Like nothing.
You don't really mean
nothing's
it.
funny about you and I talking about Dave when he's not here.
No, we want him to take the
what's
insults
like
personally.
that?
Yeah,
What fun is
I want to
that?
see him cry.
I want him here.
Yeah. Take it like a man.
On that note,
All right, we're out of here.
Till
We'll see you next
next
week.
All right.
All right, check you later.
Bye.